Do you think we are headed into another video game crash soon? Since this has been brought up by others before, maybe not as big. No. And this is why. The video game market has matured to the place where it's a multi-billion-dollar industry now. It makes more than motion pictures does, you know. When the video game crash happened in '83, I'm cribbing off of the segment from the video game years. Video games were in its infancy still.
Well, and more importantly, there was no support underneath it. There was no structural support to video games in '83. If something happens now, it's not going to be a crash. It's going to be a recession because there's a whole industry built up underneath it. It will go through a rough time, perhaps, but it's not going to crash. There's too much underneath it to keep it.
I don't even see it going through even a recession right now, because it's like this is what kids are brought up on now. Well, when games were out in the early '80s and late '70s. They weren't ingrained with everyone yet. They were looked at as a fad, like, this is new. This is like, think of like having like a board game, but an electronic version of it. It wasn't that far off from that's how video games were kind of thought of. Where this is just a kind of a game or toy that you can play. It wasn't like this whole cultural and new form of entertainment yet. It wasn't established where this is, now it's, movies, watching sports, watching TV, video games, music. It wasn't like that before. It wasn't thought of like middle-aged people would be like, oh, what's this? This is a video game? Like, what the fuck is that? That wasn't there 5 years ago, So it's a lot different. A lot's changed in 30 years, thankfully.